I'm Ron Sharp. I am running for Senate District 17 for the state of Oklahoma. A group of my students that I had several years ago wanted to get together and discuss some of the issues of which is of their mind. I taught for 38 years at Shawnee Public Schools, had lots of students, and we're here today of which to allow them, of which to ask me some questions. They said they wanted to, so here I am, of which to ask a whole series of questions of which they have.
Hi, I'm Donna, and I am an Oklahoma native, but I just recently moved back to Oklahoma. And one thing as an aging American Oklahoman I'm interested in is the Social Security situation. Some people are worried that Social Security is going to run out of money. Some people are worried about the fact that it's their money, but they're getting taxed as it's coming back to them as a monthly check. So I'm kind of curious about what your position is on what we can do about Social Security, what questions that we can actually answer, and maybe something about is it actually a sustainable system, and looking for your opinion on this.
The Social Security system was created in 1935. That was Franklin Roosevelt's idea of trying to pull actually senior citizens out of the workforce. That was the original problem because of the fact that you were in the Great Depression. So he made child labor laws to try to get the youth out of the, and of course compulsory education. And then you also had the Social Security system. It was set up of which never to have a fund actually in there. So when people in say, well, these are my tax dollars. No, the idea was that you were paying for their parents' fund. And then when you get up there to the age of senior citizen, your children would pay for that. There were so many children born in the 1930s and 40s and 50s that it was very sustainable because my mom and dad both came from 11 brothers and sisters. And so therefore, obviously, with all those children participating in the Social Security system, the Social Security system was really well funded during the 1960s and on into the 70s. The problem is the Congress did not want to pay for the Vietnam War by raising taxes, so they raided the Social Security system of which to pay for the Vietnam War. They also brought in, at the end of the Vietnam War, Vietnamese and others who were Cambodians, Laotians, and so forth, who were escaping from harsh regimes. They put them under the Social Security system. So these individuals did not participate by placing money into it. And of course, now that we're having fewer children, less than 2 children per family. It was 2.1, now it's about 1.8 on the average. So it's creating a problem. By the year 2035, 2040, the Social Security system, based on the funding system it has right now, is going to be defunct. And that is fearful. I don't think it's as fearful as many people think it is because our tax dollars, we're only actually generating about 30% of tax dollars is the total revenue for the United States of America. We are living off printed money. And so obviously if the Social Security system begins running into problems, all the federal government has to do is to fund it by using the same dollars, funding money, whatever you want to call it, that is right now. This is called modern economic theory, where you no longer have to have tax dollars of which to pay for your services. You're now using just printed dollars. We're up to about $3 trillion a year in printed money that are paying for all the services of which we are providing. This can be dropped because some of this was obviously COVID money that was used. President Trump called his COVID money CARES, and President Biden calls his ARPA. So this money ran out. All of those COVID dollars ran out, will run out in June 30th. So we will be on our own here in Oklahoma without any of these funds. But again, that just shows you how much money that was printed up of which to keep everything going in the United States. It all was just printed money, and about $3 trillion a year. Again, if you, accordingly to some experts, they say if you stacked $1 bills, it would be 12 stacks of $1 bills to the earth to the moon. That's just 1 trillion. You cannot even start counting from the day of which you're born to the day of which you died. It would be just in the billions. So, in the low billions. So, and that's to be 80 years old. So we owe $35 trillion. But again, as long as the world accepts the American dollar, when World War II was over with, the American government insisted that since we were the only grocery store in town available at the end of World War II, that our factories had not been bombed, or our farmers were still in excellent shape. The farmers of Europe, of course, had all been wiped out because of World War II. The United States government says if you want to buy any American goods, you have to use American dollars. That is still, we're still the grocery store of the world. We are still providing 40% of almost all farm goods come from the United States. We have untapped oil reserves that could probably last the next 100 years that we've not even tapped here in the United States. Almost every major aircraft is built by the United States. And so when Israel wants our excellent F/A-18 or whatever they're wanting, they have to use American dollars of which to provide for that. So I don't see any end to this. So, and I think that this is going to be what makes America great. I'm not really concerned at this point in time about the Social Security system, because they're going to provide it. But again, it's not going to be through your contributions, because there's just not enough contributions coming in. But that's the way it was created, was for your children to provide for the parents, and then when you get up there as children, then your children would provide for you. And that's just not happening because we just don't have any children.
Yes, but by printing money, it makes our money worth less. So, we have a fixed income on the Social Security. Supposedly they're to adjust with cost of living, but by printing that money, now our dollars don't buy what it used to buy.
The Federal Reserve is responsible for setting the amount of money that's in circulation, and it goes up from 1 to 5 as to the amount of money in circulation. We are up to a 5 now. We are just printing money like as fast as it comes off the printing press. It is causing rapid inflation. They're going to have to reduce that. That's why we've increased our interest rate on loans. That is going to create a problem because our housing industry, homes are a high value, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 homes at 7% interest is going to be costing the homeowner, if they buy a $500,000 home, you're talking about $5,000 a month. By the time they pay the loan back, by the time they pay for their taxes and for their insurance, $5,000 a month, just out of your check. Most Oklahomans do not make $5,000 a month. What is this going to do to the rental system as you go out and you buy these homes and you're trying to rent them? Obviously, that's going to have an impact on your rent. We already have a problem in Oklahoma because most people are now renters. They don't own their homes. So the rest of their natural lives, they're going to be renting a home, and they're never going to get to own a home. So, and what's this going to do to our future whenever people of the United States cannot own a home? That's going to be depressing. So I'd appreciate your vote on June 18th.